Welcome to Bankruptcy, Through the Looking Glass, with Barry Levine.
This is Bankruptcy Through the Looking Glass with Barry Levine. I'm Evan Mack, and today we're talking about one of the most heartbreaking and under-discussed reasons people file for bankruptcy. That's medical debt. From aggressive collectors to impossible choices between health and finances, this is medical debt and bankruptcy, the silent crisis. Barry Levine, sir, welcome back.
Good afternoon, good morning. I have no idea what time it is. It's raining, so the sun's not out.
But Barry,
Go ahead.
but what do you, in your experience though, we're talking about all the things that you've done, all the clients you've seen, all the different iterations of things. But how common is medical debt to be a primary reason for someone to file for bankruptcy?
Medical debt has been one of the primary reasons for people filing bankruptcy for decades. I mean, to me, it's amazing that people don't have insurance, but such is life. And that, along with, people losing their jobs. The days of games players when I had a lot, more hair up here, are long gone. They don't exist. Most people are up against it. I recently had a woman. She was able to keep all the balls up in the air when she was making $250,000 when she became a contract worker and found it difficult to keep a job.
Yeah.
It's tough to do that. What are you going to do?
What unique legal or emotional challenges do clients with medical debt? What do they face?
Something, that's the one thing they don't seem to care about at all. The only time that it seems to concern them is if they have future things to be done by a particular doctor or not.
Yep.
It's the same way people don't care when they don't pay lawyers. I mean, it's if they don't get it through the insurance, the doctor, they'll survive.
But are all forms of medical debt, dischargeable in bankruptcy? Does it all file in the same purview?
Why wouldn't they be? It's a debt like anything else.
Okay.
It just has a, if you want to put consumer debt, you can say consumer medical, consumer credit card. I mean, it's still consumer debt any way you slice it.
Okay. All right. But how's the timing of medical bills, or ongoing treatment affect someone's ability to file if they're going through all these things, but they're not done with these things?
Sometimes they very often wait until they're done, but on the other hand, it seems nowadays, more often than not, if you want to go see like a dentist, they don't float you the dental work anymore. Doctors usually have insurance. It's a different sort of thing, and I know if you want to, if you're going to have a crown, they usually expect you to have a credit card when you're done with the crown.
They do.
So it's really not the same thing. I mean, so very often in the medical case, they want to continue going to the same doctor. But, I guess the doctors live with it. If they're going to discharge it, it's a fact of life. I've had people who owe me money file bankruptcy, such as life.
You just kind of roll with it.
But that's a different story.
But what rights do patients have though when dealing with aggressive medical debt collectors?
It's the same thing. Once you retain an attorney, file bankruptcy, you refer them to me.
So hold on, Barry. Have you had someone that had medical bills file for bankruptcy as they were hiring you? Have you ever dealt with that? You know what I mean?
I've had people with ongoing bills, continuing treatments, with like cancer and shit like that. This, that, and the other thing. It's a fact of life.
But can bankruptcy be a strategic option for someone who is uninsured or facing a chronic
Get rid of the bills? Yeah, they're all dischargeable. Why wouldn't you file a bankruptcy?
I don't think a lot of people know that though, Barry. You know what I mean? I think because when you hear that word bankruptcy sounds like you're admitting defeat or you're going to be poor for the rest of your life. Well, how do you? You know what I mean?
All debts that a typical consumer have get discharged in bankruptcy. What debts typically don't. If IRS taxes, income taxes, and sometimes they can be discharged. If you happen to owe trust fund taxes, like you didn't pay your employee withholding, or you didn't pay sales tax as the principal of a company, or as the DBA sole proprietor, you're personally liable for that. That can't be discharged in bankruptcy. The one I find that most people don't seem to realize is that the SBA can be discharged in bankruptcy. They're accredited like anybody else. And any medical debt, unless, the only thing, and I can't imagine, it would have to be some sort of medical debt that they had, like a machine or something that you were using that they had a claim on. If they, you wanted to keep using it, you have to keep paying it. Like if you had uh, what is it, the sleep apnea, those masks and shit. I don't know how that
Yeah, whatever
works,
those masks. Yeah, I know the mask you're talking about.
but I don't think it's, they have to do what they have to do. And some people will wait until whatever procedures they're having done are done. And some people, it doesn't matter to them. They'll figure out a way to do it.
I still feel that, bankruptcy in general is still taboo and something that people don't really fully understand. Do you agree with that? And why do you think that is?
Well, it's the fear of the unknown. I
Right.
mean, most people, when they're done with the 341 meeting, I generally tell them that the anxiety of the 341 meeting is a hell of a lot worse than the reality. Why, believe me. And when they're done with it, they'll say, that's it. Takes 5 minutes. I usually tell them that the wait is longer than the meeting itself. I mean, listen, the trustee gets paid $65, and most of these cases are assetless cases. The only time you have um, a situation is when you have assets that are unexempt.
Mm.
Then you have to look at it a little differently. And, uh, I don't know if you know this one, Yiddish one, a Schwerarbeiter.
Oh, come on. Now you hit me. See, like I was pretty good with my Yiddish until today.
Well, this one,
I'm really good.
I was the epitome of a Schwerarbeiter, the guy who could get straight A's but didn't like to work.
Yeah, what did
And you have people that just, they don't like to do anything, and it's tough to be that way with the medical bills.
Yeah.
It's, you have to do what you have to do.
But okay, so what advice would you give for people that are trying to choose between medical care and financial survival?
Getting your medical care by hook or by crook is what you need to do. That's more important than the financial shit. That's all going to go away.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to get medical care. Your health is more important than, like I said, paying the bills. I mean, the only bills they should consider paying are the necessities of life. Rent, or the mortgage, the car, food. Credit cards, personal loans. Better things to do.
Why do you think, just an opinion on a side note, like why do you think people are so reluctant to, get medical coverage or not prioritize their health, even though, you know what I mean? Like why do you think they get in these situations that might
Why
lead to
people don't
bankruptcy?
have insurance?
Yeah, things
I
like that. You know what I mean?
something, it's like trying to figure out why banks do what they do. I have no clue. I have no clue why people don't have insurance. I mean, I could see if you're young, maybe,
Right.
but it's a nuisance that you need.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Well, and that's why, you must read about it, and then getting into general, why more and more people go to the emergency room. They don't have a doctor to go
Yeah.
to, or anything
Yeah.
like that.
But no, I just I think about that sometimes though, based on this topic alone though, even though it ties into bankruptcy, I just think about it in general. I think a lot of it is about fear, but I also think a lot of it is not thinking you might need, like paying something up front before you need it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's true. True. Well, I tell you, one of the best things I find is my assistant Kathy and her husband happened to have gone through, it's over 10 years ago, a personal bankruptcy. And when people come in with questions, just ask Kathy. She's been through it. And now her what does she tell me? Her credit score is in like the 900s or something like that. It's
Wow.
like incredible number. I mean, it like I said, keep saying, it's not the end of the world. It's the unknown that people don't know. And, with insurance, with everybody, it's a matter of cash flow. And I would think that, listen, I don't want to make any political statements. There should be universal insurance in this country, but that's just the way it is.
Absolutely.
As somebody who was self-employed, had to get insurance until I was 65. It was a pain in the ass.
Right. Barry Levine, sir, it's a pleasure as always.
Zeitgesund, everybody. Until we meet again.
Thank you all for tuning in to Bankruptcy Through the Looking Glass with Barry Levine. To connect with Barry, head to levineslaw.com. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a review if you found this information helpful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey through bankruptcy. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.